Finger family.
Moral stories. The Greedy Lion. One day, a hungry lion was moving around the forest, searching for a prey. Luckily, he stumbled upon a rabbit soundly sleeping under a tree. The lion happily said to himself, "Oh, great! Today I have found my meal without any effort." Just when the lion was ready to pounce on the rabbit, he saw a deer feeding in the nearby bushes. He greedily thought, "Let me chase and catch the deer. That would be a bigger and nicer meal. I can always come back for the sleeping rabbit." The lion started to move towards the deer, but the alert deer saw him and started running to save his life. The lion chased the deer for a long distance, but he was no match for the swift deer. The defeated lion finally gave up and decided to have just the little rabbit for his afternoon meal. When the lion returned to the tree where he had seen the sleeping rabbit, he was surprised to see it gone. He looked around but could find no other animal to make a meal of. He sadly thought, "Had I not been greedy, I wouldn't have starved. The rabbit was small, but would have satisfied my hunger." Moral: greed makes you lose what you already have. Life is an echo. A little boy once went to the hills with his father. As they were walking, the boy stumbled and fell down. He cried out in pain, "Ah!" To his surprise, a voice repeated his words, "Ah!" The boy yelled, "Who are you?" The voice replied, "Who are you?" The boy angrily screamed, "I hate you!" Repeating the boy's words, the voice said, "I hate you." The boy simply couldn't understand what was happening. He looked up to his father for an answer. His father smiled and said, "Now listen carefully." The father shouted, "Life is beautiful." The voice answered, "Life is beautiful." Then he turned towards the little boy and said, "This is called an echo. It is a reflection of your sound. Life is much like this echo. It gives you back what you give to it. If you give love, you get love. If you give hatred, you get hatred." Moral: life gives you back what you give to it. The Lazy Donkey. One day, a man went to a donkey seller. He saw a healthy-looking donkey and asked the seller if he could take the donkey for a few hours to test how he worked. The seller agreed, and the man took the donkey to his tents, where his donkeys were being loaded with the goods to be taken to the merchants in the city. 2 donkeys that had already done 2 trips to the city were resting in the shade. The new donkey, instead of joining the donkeys that were carrying loads, went and lay down with the donkeys that were resting. He did not know that those donkeys were resting after hours of hard work. Seeing the donkey's attitude, the man immediately took the donkey back to the seller and told him that his donkey was lazy and thus not worth buying. The donkey seller was surprised, and he said, "You took the donkey just a while back, and it seems you did not even make him work. How could you decide that he is not worth buying?" The man replied, "Even before he started working, I knew how he was by the company he chose for himself. He preferred to keep the company of the donkeys that were resting and not the ones that were carrying loads. This shows that he is not ready to work and would always try to avoid doing any work at all." Moral: we are known by the company that we keep. The Sideways Walk. Early one morning, a mother crab took her little son for his first walk along the beach. The piles of pretty shells, the huge trees, the lush green bushes, and almost everything around filled the baby crab with curiosity. He ran around to touch and feel everything. Seeing him move here and there, the mother crab said, "Oh, Why do you walk with your toes turned in? Now, his mother's words confused him. He replied, Mother, you taught me to walk this way. Even you and father walked sideways with your toes turned in. Is this not the correct way to walk? The mother crab replied, Of course not. You should always walk straight ahead with your toes turned out. Not wanting to disobey his mother, the baby tried to walk straight ahead with his toes turned out. But no matter how hard he tried, he simply couldn't do it. Finally, he asked his mother, Mother dear, could you please show me the right way to walk? Glad to know that her child was eager to learn, she said, Sure, my dear. Now, watch me carefully. With her toes turned out, she took a step forward and fell flat on her nose. Moral: don't tell others how to act unless you can do it yourself.
If you like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button below.